स्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेष भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 17, text number 18. 18. Prajapatihi nama tayoho akarshit. Prajapatir nama tayor akarshit. Yaha prak swadehad yamayoho ajayata. Yah prak swadehad yamayor ajayata. Tam vai hiranyakashipum viduhu prajaha. Tam vai hiranyakashipum viduh prajaha. Yam tam hiranyaksham asuta sa agrataha. Yam tam hiranyaksham asuta agrataha. Prajapatir nama tayorakarshid. Yah prak swadehad yamayor ajayata. Tam vai hiranyakashipum viduh praja. Yam tam hiranyaksham asuta sagrataha. Prajapatir nama tayorakarshid. Yah prak swadehad yamayor ajayata. Tam vai hiranyakashipum viduh praja. Yam tam hiranyaksham asuta sagrataha. Report by Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. Kashyapa Prajapati, the creator of the living entities, gave his twin sons their names. The one who was born first, he named Hiranyaksha, and the one who was first conceived by Diti, he named Hiranyakashipu. Please repeat the translation. Kashyapa Prajapati, the creator of the living entities, gave his twin sons their names. The one who was born first, he named Hiranyaksha, and the one who was first conceived by Diti, he named Hiranyakashipu. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. There is an authoritative Vedic literature called Pinda Siddhi, in which the scientific understanding of pregnancy is very nicely described. It is stated that when the male secretion enters the menstrual flux in the uterus in 2 successive drops, the mother develops 2 embryos in her womb, and she brings forth twins in a reverse order to that in which they were first conceived. The child conceived first is born later, and the one conceived later is brought forth first. The child first conceived in the womb leaves behind the second child. So when the child takes place, the second child appears first, and the first child appears second. In this case, it is understood that Hiranyaksha, the second child conceived, was delivered first, whereas Hiranyakashipu, the child who was born behind him, having been conceived first, was born second. Presents the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namavom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So when the twins were born, what activities further happened and what was their Namakarana, naming ceremony, as conducted by their father, Kashyapa Prajapati, was explained here. Prajapati Nama Tayor Akarshit. Prajapati, Kashyapa Prajapati, who was in charge for creating living entities. Tayor Nama Akarshit, he gave names to the two children who was born of him. Yah Praksvadehad Yamayor Ajayata, the child who was first conceived of the twins, Yap Prak, Swadehad Yamayor Ajayata, of the twins, Prak, the elder child, who was delivered first. Tamvai Hiranyakashpum Viduh Prajaha. He is known as Hiranyakashpu by people in general. Yastam Hiranyaksham Asuta Sa Agrataha. The other who was first delivered by Diti, Sa Agrataha. Tam Hiranyaksham, he was known as Hiranyaksham. So there is one confusion apparently looks like. So here the purport Prabhupada clarified about that perspective. Kashyapa gave his twin sons their names, Prajapatir Nama Tayor Akarshe. The one who was born first he named Hiranyaksha. Yam Tam Hiranyaksham Asuta Sagrataha. And the one who was first conceived by Diti he named Hiranyakashpu. Yah Praksvadehad Yamayor Ajayata Tamvai Hiranyakashpam Viduh Prajaha. So for us to understand this logic, when a twins take birth, now who is elder, who is younger? This is the point here. Now how do we say who is elder, who is younger? When you ask parents, they say the first who came out, he is elder. And after 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, the second one came out. So he is younger, they say. But this verse is saying there is a room which has one door. The first one who entered and the second one who had entered. So when they are coming out, who will come out first? Who went second? Now the logic is who is elder, who first entered the womb? Hiranyakashpu first entered the womb. So that's why he said Hiranyakashpu, who entered the womb, is the elder child. Hiranyaksha, who was delivered first, who came out of the door, is the younger child. So this is the point what is being communicated. Now the second point is Namakarana, Hiranyakashpu and Hiranyaksha. Literally, what does these names mean? Hiranyakashpu means Hiranyakashipu. Gold, soft bed. Means one who is looking after sense gratification. Who is after money. And when money comes, he wants to enjoy the sense gratification. Who is interested in this perspective? Then Hiranyaksha means Hiranya Aksha. Gold and ice. Means one who is always looking after these opulences, always trying to find out these opulences. He wants to dig everywhere and bring out all the opulences out. One who is running behind opulences. Now, when a Namakarana has to happen, what is the process? Because he is a Prajapati, he knows all the technical details and all. On what basis were these names given to the children? What Shastra says? Currently, if you ask any family, they have a child, how do you name a child? On what basis do you name a child? What are the considerations? Based on astrological chart, the time of their birth, the nakshatra what was there, the tithi, the rashi, based on that, one character will be given. Some ka, some ga, somewhere some letters will be given and say the name should start with this perspective. Sometimes some odd character comes, some Jed or something comes. Now how do you find a name for that? What is the actual process in this Vedic perspective to modern understanding? See, Vedic perspective, many people did not keep track of the time. When a child takes birth, if you ask maybe your parents or grandparents, what time did they actually took birth? Nobody took a note. So at that particular point, when the Pujari was consulted, they used to say, so this boy, at that time they had a reference by word of mouth. So they said so and so Titi, so and so Nakshatra. So let this boy's name be start with so and so character. It says K means Krishnamurti. So as soon as you say Krishnamurti, so K, it refers to so and so Nakshatra, so and so Rasi. It will be indirectly be tracked automatically. Now current day, when we know all this terminology, you know what is the Titi, what is the Nakshatra, what is the Rasi, then you can keep any name you want. There is no restriction in this. We did not follow that process which was for a temporary perspective when people were not able to track. So this is one consideration. Now on what basis these names were also given? We see in Bhagavatam, the first canto, 12th chapter describes about birth of Parikshit Maharaj. So when Parikshit Maharaj as a baby came out, Yudhishthir Maharaj, he had invited all the great personalities, Brahmanas, who are very good at astrological calculation. Jatak Karma was performed. Jatak Karma means astrological chart was done. All the milestones what the baby can achieve in their life has been enumerated. It is called as milestones. Means what we are capable of achieving in this particular life. So all the milestones were enumerated, and his history from his birth till death, how he will die, was also calculated very nicely and elaborated to the point with all his gunagana, lakshanas and characteristics. At the end, they suggested, because this boy has an inquisitive nature, he inquisitively looks at everyone. Parikshita means one who is scrutinizingly studying everyone. His name is called as Parikshit. That's how it was written. That verse clearly says, Sayesha loke vikyataha Parikshit yat prabhuhu purvam drushtam anudhyayam pariksheta nareshu iha. So, the Parikshit means one who is known as examiner. Sayesha loke vikyataha. This child will be famous across the world as Parikshit iti yat prabhuhu. Oh my dear king, he is known as, by Parikshit, he is become celebrated across the world by people in general. Why? Because Purvam drashtum pariksheta nareshu iha. When he was in the womb, he was tried to be destroyed by Brahmastra, which was introduced by Ashwatthama to kill him in the womb. At that particular point, he saw one small personality with four-armed, Shankachakra Gada Padma, nicely decorated, who is of the size of Angushta Matrena, a thumb size, came inside the womb and provided a shield by which he stopped that Brahmastra from destroying his fetus. So as a baby, he remembered that personality of that size. And he was able to visualize that personality, that facial and the other details. As soon as he came out, he was looking for the people around. Who is that person who saved me in the womb? This was his examination. He was saying, is the person who came and saved me in the womb? Is he the person? Is he the person? He was inquisitively looking for everyone who saved me in the womb. So that's why this boy's name was technically called as Parikshit. So thus he would come to know constant, thus he would come to constant contemplation to him, anudhyanam, because he was always thinking of that person whom he saw in the womb, and he is trying to find out nareshu api, among human beings, who is that person who I have seen first. That's why he is named as Parikshit. So understood, the Namakarana process means the system is the boy by his activities and by his character. Based upon that, the Namakarana was done. So Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, the Namakarana is fitting or not? Is it worth the name? Why? Huh? What did he do? What did they do? They wanted to become the masters. They wanted to imitate the Lord. See, they were showing how a jiva, when he falls down to the material world, how does he react? Why do a jiva falls down to the material world? To enjoy. On what basis he wants to enjoy? Because he saw Lord Vishnu or Krishna, where everybody was serving him in the spiritual world. So Lord is the center of attraction. So when he saw, he had a desire. Now how that how the desire came in the spiritual world, where there is no chance of Maya entering there. This desire is not of Sattva-guna quality. This is of some other quality, materialistic modes quality. How could this desire come in a living entity who is pure in the spiritual world? That is independence. When he saw that everybody was serving the Lord, and Lord is the center of attraction, a small desire sprout up, saying, why can't I become Krishna? Or why can't I become Vishnu? Why can't I be the center of attraction? As soon as the desire came, Lord, as the best well-wisher, he created an image, like a world where a jiva can experience that feeling. And this world is 180 degrees ulta of the spiritual world. And this is explained in 15th chapter. Banyan tree. How is this banyan tree? Ulta, hanging around, hanging from the top. Roots are at the top, branches are at the bottom. So that's why 15th chapter starts with this perspective. The nature of material world, which is ulta hanging to spiritual world. Because everything is 180 degrees ulta here. On what basis is it ulta? What are the nature of such spiritual world? Sat, Chit, Ananda. Eternal, knowledge and blissful. Happiness. Full of Ananda. In the material world, we always want the three things. Sat, nobody wants to die here. Everybody wants to stay for eternal. But we die. Sat. And knowledge. Whatever we see, we want to grab that knowledge. But we forget everything. Chit. Ananda. We always aspire for happiness. Everybody is looking for happiness. But distress is enforced upon us. This happiness can be counted in seconds, minutes, days, months. It is not permanent here. Because we are not in a permanent place here. So this is the nature of this material world. That's Satchita Ananda. And everybody, when they come here, everybody wants to dominate the world. Everybody wants to become the controller of the world. The same tendency. So Krishna, to fulfill that desire, what he does? He makes us Brahma as a first person. As soon as a living entity falls in the spiritual world, he becomes Brahma in this material world. Because the position of the Lord is equivalent in this material world is Brahma's position. Because from him everybody is created. Because he wants to be the creator. So Brahma is the one who is creating all the living entities. And Brahma is like a master of that universe. Where any problem, everybody will consult Brahma. The same thing Jiva wants, he to be the center of attraction. He to be the leader. So Brahma is at post. When the Jiva falls down, he becomes Brahma first. So this understanding perspective is very much required. So why these details are elaborated for us in Bhagavad Gita? So that the tendency what was there, where that misconceptions what we have within our understanding should be cleared out. So similarly this Namakarana, further details, one more place we see in 10th canto of Bhagavatam. When Krishna and Balarama were in the house of Nanda Maharaj, Garga Muni comes there. On the order of Vasudeva, because Garga Muni was the official priest of Vasudeva, Yadu dynasty. So Nanda Maharaj welcomed Garga Muni. He appreciated Garga Muni's presence by saying, Mahat Visharanam, where great personalities, generally they come to a householder house. It's very rare. If you have come means, it is a great fortune for us to receive you, to serve you. So when Nanda Maharaj took up this opportunity, he said, since you have come, you should utilize this opportunity in naming our children. So we will do it in a very nice, elaborate way. Garga Muni said, no. See, if officially, I am known everywhere as Vasudeva's personal priest. So if I do any function in an elaborate way, people will get to know that I am acting on behalf of Vasudeva. So this Krishna, who is there here, indirectly he is saying, this Krishna is not your son, he is Vasudeva's son. Kamsa will immediately get to know that Krishna is hiding in Nanda Maharaj's house. He will immediately send the demoniac people and he will attack. So let us do it in a very closed way or very personal way. So Nanda Maharaj said, okay, let us utilize it in our Goshala itself, in a small area, small corner, we'll finish it up. So the things were done, everything was arranged there. Now Garga Muni, first Balarama was the eldest child. So when he was giving the name ceremony, these are the things what he said. Garga Vacha, Ayam hi Rohini Putro, Ramayan Suhrudo Gunaihi. This Rohini Putraha, son of Rohini, Ramayan Suhrudo Gunaihi. He is very Ramayan, he is very enchanting, enlivening others. He makes others happy, Ramayan. Suhrudo Gunaihi. And he is to whom? To his friends and relatives, Suhrudaha. By his transcendental qualities, he enlivens all his family members. Akyastate Rama iti. Because he was giving happiness for everyone, he is known by name Akashyate Rama iti. He is known by name Rama, one who gives pleasure to others. Then Baladikya Balam Viduhu. Because he has excessive strength, Bala Adikya. Balam Viduhu, he is known as Bala also, one who has excessive strength. Yadunam apratak bhavat sankarshanam ushanti api. Because he is able to attract Yadu family and Nanda's family, he was able to bring all the families close together. He is known as Sankarshana, one who attracts everyone. Sankarshana iti. So this is for Balarama he had mentioned. Now for Krishna, what did he mention? Asan varna strayohi asya grunato anuyugam tanuhu. Shuklo rakta satapita idanim krishnatam gataha. So he was mentioning Asan varna strayohi asya. So this boy, Asan varnaha, he accepts various colors. According to when he comes under this material world, he accepts various colors. Grunato anuyugam tanuhu, and he has accepted various bodies. Anuyugam, yuga after yuga. In every yuga he comes to this material world and he accepts various colors. What are these? Shuklo rakta satapita. Shuklaha, white. Raktaha, red. Pitaha, yellow. Idanim krishnatam gataha. Now he has come as blackish incarnation, who is known as Krishnaha. Now Shuklaha is white color, is for Satya Yuga. Raktaha or reddish color is for Treta Yuga. Shyamaha or Krishnaha or blackish color is for Dwapar Yuga. And Pitaha, golden color, is for Kali Yuga. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, golden color, Krishna, blackish color. Svetavaraha Kalpe, the first Manvantara which started with, Satyuga started with Shvetavaraha Kalpe. Vaivashvata Manvantara. The first Manu, the first incarnation was Shvetavaraha. That's why whitish color in Satyuga. So in that way we get all these details. So next he says, Prakayam Vasudevasya Kachid Jataha Tavatmajaha. Vasudeva iti Shriman Abhijnaha Samprachakshate. Prakayam Vasudevasya. For many reasons, Vasudevasya Kvachit Jataha Tavatmajaha. Your son has earlier taken birth as son of Vasudeva for many reasons. Tava Atmaja Vasudeva kvachit jataha. Sometimes he took birth as son of Vasudeva. Because he promised 3 times that he will take birth. First was Prishni. Prishni's wife was Sutapa. Sorry, husband was Sutapa and wife was Prishni. He is known as Prishni Garbha. And we see him in Vrindavan also, Prishni Garbha. Where do we see him? Madhuvan. Dhruva Maharaj had darshan of the Vishnu who gave darshan to Dhruva Maharaj was Prishni Garbha. So Madhuvan is the one in Vrindavan which is considered as one of the forests, as most sacred of all the forests. Because that is the only vana where in every yuga Lord appeared there. Lord visited that vana. In Satyuga he came as Prishni Garbha. In Treta Yuga he came as Shatrughna. In Dwapar Yuga as Krishna. And in Kali Yuga as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In 4 yugas the Lord visited that specific place. That's why that place is most fortunate place among all the 12 vanas of Vrindavan. So first was Aditi and next was Kashyapa and Aditi, where Lord appeared as Vamana, Trivikrama, various names. And the third was Vasudeva and Devaki, Lord appeared as Krishna. So that's why he is saying, formerly he had appeared with many perspectives, so he will be known also as Vasudeva iti Shriman. This glorious personality who is most fortunate will be also called as Vasudeva iti. Abhijnaha samprachakshate. Means one who will be already, and learned people sometimes call this child as Abhijnaha. Those who are learned, samprachakshate, they call him as Vasudeva iti. So they also call him as Vasudeva. Then further he says, Bahuni santi namani rupani cha sutasyate. Te sutasya, this son of yours, Bahuni santi namani, he has many names. Rupani cha, and many forms. Guna karma anu rupani. On what basis were these names and forms? Guna karma anurupani. According to his various activities and according to his various pastimes, he is known by various names. Guna karma anurupani. Tani yaham veda no janaha. I know everything about his nama and about his rupa and about his incarnations, and everybody else do not know. Tani aham veda. Aham veda. I know everything about him. Na janaha. People do not know anything about him. Yeshava Shreya Adashyat Gopa Gokula Nandanaha Anena Sarva Durgani Yuyam Anjas Tarishyata. So now he is giving instruction. Because he is a great personality, you do not know about him. Now how you should grow him, how you should take care of him. Yeshava Shreya Adashyat. Because of him you will get all good fortune. Adashyat. Shreya Adashyat. Gopa Gokula Nandana, he is the darling of Gopa Gokula Nandana, who is enlivener of all the cows and all the Gopas in Vrindavana. Anena Sarva Durgani, all kinds of troubles. Sarva Durgani, Yuyam Anjas Tarishyata, because of him you will be able to cross over any kind of troubles. Nothing can stop him. Nothing can stop you people. And because of his grace, you will be able to cross over everything. Ya etasmin mahabagaha pritim kurvanti manavaha narayo abhibhavayanti etan Vishnu pakshan ivasura. So he is also indicating, because this is a boy who is Supreme Lord, Kamsa will try to send so many demons. Don't worry, nothing will happen. He says, Vishnu Pakshan, because demons cannot harm demigods who always have Lord Vishnu on their side. Similarly, etan manavaha kurvanti mahabagaha. A person who is very much attached to Krishna is extremely fortunate. Mahabagaha. Ye pritim etasmin. Those who love him excessively, those who have affection for him, very excessively. Na abhibhavanti arayaha, cannot be defeated by any enemy. Or iva asuraha, or even by associates of Kamsa, who may try any possible means and ways, but nobody can come do any harm to Krishna, because not only to Krishna, to his devotees who are effectively attached to Krishna. Tasma Nandatmajo ayamte Narayana samo gunaihi. This Nandatmaja ayam is Narayana samo gunaihi, is equal to Narayana in guna. Shriya kirtya anubhavena Gopayashva samahitaha. In gunaihi, in opulences, in qualities, Shriya in opulences, Kritya in fame and name, and Anubhavena in influence. He is Narayana Samaha. He is exactly like Narayana. So therefore, Gopya Yashva Samahitaha. You should raise this child carefully and cautiously. He is indirectly saying, he is Narayana. Take care of him. Don't treat him like normal child. Indirectly saying, Mother Yashoda, danda leke piche mat bhago. He is a great personality. He is Narayana himself. But still, that motherly affection and all these things are all given first priority. Lord does not want him to be treated like that great personality here. He wants to become subservient to his devotee's desire. So devotees also always this, when this Gita Jayanti today perspective, everybody wants to give this benefit to others, to pass on this message of Lord Krishna. So whole intention of what is this Bhagavad Gita and when to apply this Bhagavad Gita. See Arjuna, what was his scenario? The entire war was planned, everything was calculated. Like it is like you are preparing for an exam. You have done study well, you had prepared very nicely. You went and you went to the exam hall, you sat down. Just when the paper was given, you broke down. You said, I can't handle this. You are about to start the exam. Paper was also given, question sheet was given, answer sheet was given. You picked up the pen and you kept it aside. I said, I cannot write this exam. This is what Arjuna did. Everything, all the planning, everything, he was 12 years, he was anticipating. He procured all the weapons from various great personalities. He went everywhere. He accumulated capacity to fight. They accumulated army. But when right particular point came, he backed out. Now Krishna, at this point, being his well-wisher, what did he do? Did he say, okay, no problem, if not now, next year? He did not say next year. One more option, he did not say. He said, no, you have to face the situation. You have to face the reality. So Bhagavad Gita is not running away from the point. It is facing the difficulties, facing the challenges. So generally what happens, whenever we are in trouble, we go in front of the Lord and we pray, my dear Lord, there is one big mountain in front of me. I am not able to cross it. Please do something that mountain vanishes from my view. Will Lord do that? He will vanish a mountain for us? No, if he wishes, he can do. But what he does? He gives us the strength how to climb that mountain. He gives us the intelligence how to handle the situations, how to handle the circumstances. See, test is a way to bring out the best in us. We are always have something hidden within us. The talents are brought out in a best way when we are tested to the brink, to the last moment, then the best comes out in an efficient way. So sometimes Krishna also said, even if you fail, no problem. Because this process is such a way that you will continue wherever you are left in the next life. So spiritual perspective also, Prabhupada was saying in one place, he said about book distribution. These books are more important. Give out our books. He wanted more and more devotees to reach out to more and more people. And he especially liked this Radha Damodar party which was established at that time. They used to go out from village to village, place to place, city to city, and devotees used to go and distribute more and more books. You have understood a very important point, that in Kali Yuga, people don't come to temple. You have to bring the temple to the people. So like you are going out of Bhagavad Gita means you are taking the temple to the public and handing over to them as the Lord in front of them. This is also the whole idea behind book distribution, for the devotees to go out. So because when people ask, when we are standing in the traffic, they will come and say, you people, why are you standing here? Why are you trying to sell Bhagavad Gita? Or you are not coming to temple, that's why we are coming to search of you. And this is one more point of Ratha Yatra. The whole intention of the Lord coming on Ratha was because people are not interested to come inside the temple. He says, okay, you are not interested, at least I'll come outside and I'll give you audience. See, Lord, how much compassion He is having. The mood and understanding. So this entire perspective is how to become humble in life. As a tree grows tall, it has to be groundly rooted. Or else what happens? One small air can uproot us. Like a kite, we would have seen kite. Now Sankranti comes, everybody goes outside to play kites. Why only during Sankranti we do play kites? Why not in other seasons? Is there any logic there? The temperature at this time is very mild. And it is winter season where body requires excessive heat. So this is the time where people are recommended to eat til with jaggery. Til with jaggery will provide calcium to the body. And when you play in the sun, this calcium will able to enhance you to absorb D vitamin, which is sufficient for the entire year for your body. See, there is a scientific logic. You get calcium, you get D vitamin, which is sufficient for your entire year. When you go outside, when you play, there is one maja in playing also. To try to outsmart others, intelligent. So how do you bake your best manja? And sometimes if you are not able to hit, you do something ulta palta. You catch one stone, try a thread. If you are not able to cut, we will throw by thread and we will try to pull it down. So like that there are some gimmicks will be utilized, but still how intelligence is used. So how that kite flies high? If you have to make it rise high, what will you do? You will put it down, then the kite will go up. If you do like this, you have to like there are different means and ways how kite has to go. The wind, everything has to support it. And this is the particular time where wind is very mild. So where it enhances the kite to flow very easily. So in that way, Shastras have given us various particular points. The Parampara system has why it is not being communicated properly. So these samskaras, Namakarana is a samskara. So Kashyapa, who was a great Prajapati, he did the samskaras and he understood these children are nonsense creators. So that's why he named them Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha based upon their gunagana. So Bhagavatam gives this scenario when a child has to be named. Prabhupada says at one particular place, a blind child, they named him as Padmalochana. Means Padmalochana means one whose eyes are very beautiful like lotus leaves. But he is blind. So name and your actions doesn't match. So Nama has to be inappropriate to personality, not external, internal personality. So this is what we understand. So we'll stop here. Any questions or doubts? Yes.
How they justify Prabhu? Like he is first, he is second in like stomach also. Like now there is a microscope all those.
No, the same logic. It's a closed room. There is only one entrance. That is the womb. The first Jiva who was impregnated, he goes behind. And the second Jiva who is impregnated, he will be in the front face. So when they take birth, the front Jiva comes out first and the behind Jiva comes out later. Now materially we think the birth is the basis is the day when that Jiva came out. But in Vedic times, the birth is calculated on Garbhadana Samskara. The day inception has happened. Garbhadana Samskara means what? It is announcing to the whole world that I am going to procreate for the purpose of creating harmonious children, good conscious children. So that is counted as the Tithi for the birth, because the Jiva has entered the womb. He had accepted form after 9 months, he came out of his second perspective. So in that way, Hiranyakashipu was given the first priority because he entered the womb, and Hiranyaksha was given the second priority who came outside of the womb.
Prabhu, as you are saying, independence is different from Maya. Like in spiritual world, there is independence, that there is an ego. So both are different.
So independent, the Jiva nature is, he has that minute independence. And Lord, as the well-wisher and fulfiller of the desires of the devotee, when that even that minutest desire came, that he wants to compete with Krishna, Lord wants to satisfy that desire also. But to give him an experience, it is said that we are actually sleeping in our spiritual bodies in the spiritual world. We are in a dream state. As soon as we finish this world, these material perspectives, will go back and we'll wake up from the dream and we'll continue our relationship with the Lord. Like for example, a small child will be there, sometimes there will be a fan. He wants to put his finger everywhere. Now when he saw that fan, if he is trying to put his finger, what will you do? We'll switch off the fan first. When it comes to a very mild perspective, then we'll ask him to put the finger there. But that small hit, next time he'll not put his finger again. So Krishna says, once you understand, yadgatvana nivartante taddama paramam mama. Once you understand this material world, this nature of this material world, again you will not enter into that misunderstanding again. We learn from our mistake. Once we done, we never repeat that mistake. That's the point. What Krishna has been very happy to be with us and guide us and correct us. Okay. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की, निताय गौर प्रेम।